Facebook. It'll take just 1 second here. And we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, how's it going? Hope you're enjoying your 3-day weekend. I'm Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Welcome to our weekly videos. We're gonna get started by taking a look at the market and going over some swing ideas for next week, as we always do. But before I start, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss today is for educational purposes only. Also, while you're at it, if you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description. But also, I was going to say, let's get started. But if you would like to join me tomorrow for a free webinar, that's tomorrow. You can also register for it. Link for it is in the description. Okay? So tomorrow, webinar with yours truly at 4:30 after the close. Link for that is in the description. All right, now let's actually go ahead and get started. If you find benefit in today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. We will go over the market and then we'll go over the swing ideas for next week, okay? So the market, I was on the weekly chart. Let's go to the daily. The daily time frame is the main time frame for swing trading. The weekly is to look at the larger picture. The market is a bit weak. We can see that the daily chart, that last buy setup in the Qs, did not make a new high. So, you know, this buy setup made a new high. This buy setup made a new high. That buy setup made a new high. This breakout made a new high. This last buy setup is struggling, to say the least. We still have a daily uptrend that is completely intact, but we are threatening to break it. Okay? The market, I think, the Qs might end up breaking the daily uptrend. And if it does, if we take out Friday's low, which was about 310.58, then I'd expect the market to actually make it to the 20 MA on the weekly chart and have ourselves a weekly pullback. The 20 MA on the weekly is around 295, 290 something. Doesn't really matter. It's an area. But that would be my target if we were to break under 310.50. Okay? Now, when the market is grinding up, like it has been for a while, it is foolish to try and pick the top or to try and even predict a reversal. It really is foolish. So I'm not trying to predict a reversal here. I'm just saying that the market is weak and I think is looking like it wants to pull back on the weekly chart. But in general, I discourage trying to pick tops and reversals if the market is just slowly grinding up. When it starts to accelerate, like it did, say, in September, right, in August actually, topped out, I think, at the beginning of September 2nd. Okay, when it starts to accelerate away from the moving average and run up really hard, that's okay. You can try and predict the top. That's easy. But when it's grinding like this, it's really, really hard. If we look at the SPY is even more bullish. It's still above its 20-period moving average on the daily chart. The IWM is more bullish still, but it's also extended. So when it's extended, it can more easily fall back to the 20. It's going to depend on what the big 5, big 6 do next week, and they're all looking weak. Apple looks weak. Microsoft below the 20, very weak. Amazon obviously weak. Google is the strongest of the bunch. Tesla is the strongest, but also Tesla is the most extended and looks due for a pullback. That's why I had that video last week and I told you about Tesla as a short, and the next day it dropped, I don't know, 8%. And we talked about Bitcoin short and dropped 25% in 2 days, right? So I think it's going to depend on what the big 5, big 6, you can add Facebook to the equation, to the list, what they do tomorrow. But as I said, the market does look a little weak and does look like it could come in over the next few days. All right, with that said, let's go over the list. This list was typed typed up for you in the description. So just go to the description of the video, copy it, and paste it into your watch list. You don't even have to type it up. I also wanted to briefly say that USO also looks like it can pull back a little bit. I've been in USO in my IRA account for a long time, and I got out on Friday. Okay, so notice how it broke the uptrend on the hourly chart. I don't know if it's going to produce follow through, but I think it will. It's extended, and it looks like it's going to come back down to the 20 on the daily and the top of that base, which is minor support in an uptrend. I told you in last week's video that GLD, that gold, wasn't so hot because the gap up, this gap up got sold hard. And so as you can see, last week continued lower. It doesn't really look that hot, okay? So I just wanted to kind of give you an update. And then while we're at it, why don't we talk about Bitcoin? So Bitcoin, we talked about it last week. This is how it looked, exactly how it looked. And I said under that bar, short, and in 2 days it dropped, I believe 20 or 25%, okay? So this was a home run if you took it, which I did. And I told you where you can short it, which exchange you can short it at. Now it's done the buy setup, and I called a swing trade on it in the newsletter. And it's done, you know, it's rallied really hard, but came back down and has a W pattern. I noticed that even the cryptocurrency market is really going with the US equities market. When the equities sell off, so does Bitcoin for the most part. So what we have here on Bitcoin is a climactic top, and then a pullback, and then a retest. So that's a W pattern. It looks good, but it needs to clear today's high. Okay, this bar closes. This is a daily time frame. This bar closes at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so we need to take out 37,400, 37.4. Okay, to go back up. There is a nice looking W pattern, but the issue is it's a big stop. Okay, and the other thing is it went already climactic. You know, that run up was a little climb for sure. So it's not the easiest thing I've ever seen. If the equities hold tomorrow and they go up, I predict that Bitcoin will go up too. So okay, so I do like it higher. Just needs to take out today's high. Okay. So talked about Bitcoin. We talked about the market. We talked about Tesla. We didn't talk about much, did we? Let's talk about Tesla to give you an update. I'm in it short from last week. It was kind of disappointing that we had the break on, I don't know what day that was. Well, I did the video on the weekend, so that was Friday, and this was Monday. So we had the nice break on Monday, and it went back up as hard to base, like right where I entered. And then it broke down again on Friday. It does need to, ultimately it needs to break under that weekly bars low, under 803. So it does need to break under it, but I'm already in Tesla. I don't know if this E-Trade Pro shows it, but I'm already in Tesla. This is the, I have an open position in it. I'll show you. This is actually the closed part of Tesla, that the 1200, whatever it is here that we saw. So it's much bigger than 1200. Notice, by the way, for the first 2 weeks of the year, that's $128,000. So, you know, I hope you're following along. Hopefully you're in the room with me. If you'd like to join me, link for that is in the description. But let's go ahead. I'll show you the open position on Tesla. I'm just opening my E-Trade Pro platform. I thought it might show up here, and that's not it. So I'm just logging in right now. But I'll show. Let's go over the list. Sorry, let's go over the list. I don't want you to keep waiting here. Okay, bullish. We got ASMB as a breakout over the base, stop just under right here. So over 650, I believe. I put it out as an idea in the newsletter, but not as an official play. In the newsletter for tomorrow, I have 5 official plays, 2 longs, 3 shorts. If you're a subscriber, feel free to log on, and you'll see which ones I picked for us. This isn't one of them, but if you like it, the entry is at 651. The stop is at 591. It's a 60-cent stop. Okay, this platform just opened up. This is the Tesla open position. As you can see, you know, the difference between this and that is the closed position, but unrealized is $6,000 on Tesla. So it's an open position for me. Okay, all right. So it just opened up right now as I was talking. Let's exit. Okay, so ASMB is a breakout. CATB, I played it this day and it went crazy, so I trailed out of it. But it looks okay higher over this bar's high, 278, stop under 247. Okay, and target the prior bar's high, this bar's high at 325. Not my favorite idea so far. Okay, EBC I like a lot. This is a special stock. Never heard of it until a few weeks ago, and I noticed at the time that every bar, with the exception of one, maybe two, were green. Every single bar. And okay, since then it's had a pullback, another pullback, another pullback, but I like it a lot long over the bar's high. Stop right here. So EBC as a long over 1670 with a stop under 1595 as a long-term play. I like it a lot, and hopefully it'll start to print just green bars like it did the first from the entire month of November and half of December. So I like it over 1670 by 1595. FTIV I played already twice here, and then I took and then here it got to target, but it still looks good one more time over this base. That's not much of a base. Stop right here. It's a little bit aggressive, or you could put the stop under 1125 also, but I prefer under 11, under this hourly pivot, which is 1145 actually. So this looks higher still. Played it a couple times, it worked, and I would like to get back in it because I think it looks higher to $16. This reminds me a little bit of the IPOF, which I played here and it exploded, and I don't remember if I replayed it honestly, or I don't remember, but as you can see it keeps working. So a new issue as well. So FTIV just went public in November and it looks higher still. GSM, disclaimer, I already have a position in it. It's a long-term play. Okay, let me just go to change the scaling a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. The monthly transition A breakout. So I like it a lot. Already triggered over the base right here, and I added to it, I'm not sure which day exactly, this day or that day, and it exploded on Thursday. But I still like it higher over 230. I'm not gonna add to it, but I thought I'd share it with you because this is a long-term idea. HLF is a daily buy setup. It had a gap down and then it got bought. Gap downs that get bought like this, look at the IOVA. Gap down, got bought, way back here. See it? Gap down, got bought, and then just kept going. Show me any gap down that you want that got bought and resulted in a wide range green bar, and you will see that eventually, almost always, that leads to higher prices. We just played CALA, didn't we? A couple days ago. There it is. Gap down, got bought. We played the breakout. Bam. Got to target in 3 days. So this is a gap down that got bought and now has a pullback to the rising 20. Admittedly, the pullback isn't perfect, but I like it back to go back up higher. HLF. LMFA is tough, but over the base right here long, stop under it. So over the base, this bar's high, that bar's high, whichever's higher. Stop under $1.76. Okay? On the LMFA. MDGS is an hourly base breakout. It looks good, but it's not a small stop. So the entry would be over this bar's high, stop right here, and target the prior high. Okay? On the MDGS. PLIN is a transition A daily base breakout. So over the base right here, over $1.04. Stop under 93 cents. Looks higher to me. And target perhaps around 150 for a 50% gain if it were to get to the prior high. Okay? SELB. SELB is also a long-term play. Check out the monthly. Looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The daily doesn't look quite ready if you look at the daily chart, it would be great if it based for just a couple more days right here. So let's say tomorrow, the day after, it went sideways, then that 20 MA will catch up. That blue line will catch up and it will result in a breakout. And I really, really like it on that monthly chart as a monthly transition A. VSTM I also like a lot on the monthly, less so on the daily, but it's got an hourly base breakout. So over the base right here, stop under it, and then take target off of, you know, select your target based on the monthly, since it's a monthly buy setup, basically around $4. Okay, that would be the target on the VSTM. So from this list for tomorrow's newsletter, if you're a subscriber, feel free to log on to your account. I've already picked the plays for us for the newsletter for tomorrow, and I got 2 longs out of this list and then 3 shorts out of this short list. Okay, now when the market is up a lot, has been up a lot, and starts to come in a little bit, the first things that come in that sell off are the ones that were the strongest, the ones that are most extended, which is why I shorted Tesla. I also shorted Plug, FSEL, BLDP, because they're climactic. See it? And I went heavy on all of these, especially the Plug. But see, that's climactic. Look at the monthly chart, vertical. So Plug, same thing. Plug is even maybe more so. Look at that move. It's just insane. From $3, in fact 2019 was a $2 stock, to 74. So I went ahead and called the Plug short, and I have it short as well, and I'm targeting the 20 MA on the daily chart. Okay, and the same with the FCEL. Now they're all, I think, clean energy stocks, but it's just I went with these because they were climactic. Okay, and I like the Plug BLDP the most, but also, so you know, the Tesla and some of the other clean energy stocks. Here's a couple more that look good. PACB, that's also climactic on the monthly, way up. That's not sustainable. So where's the short? Under the SPARS low, stop above it. So under 36.68, stop over 40.77, about a $4 stop. Okay, ROKU, I know ROKU is bullish, but also extended. So where's the short? Ideally under the base on the hourly chart. Stop, of course, the all-time high, but could also do it right here. Stop, the same stop, this bar's high, which is 426. So either under 407 or under 404.50. Stop in both cases is 426. On ROKU as a short, it's like Tesla but not as good. Climactic monthly, weekly is pretty extended, and daily is not very extended, but it has room to the 20 MA on the daily chart. The hourly is breaking down, so has a beautiful base breakdown on the hourly chart. So I like PACB, I like ROKU. Another one that's extended, climactic play, is the SOL. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a narrow range bar. When they have narrow range bars, that's ideal because then you have a tighter stop. But under the green bars low, under $22, stop over the green bars high, 25.50, and also target the 20 MA on the daily, which is about $15. Look at that monthly chart. Not sustainable usually. Okay, we talked about how USO, I think, is due for a pullback, and VOXX is another extended stock. That's not my favorite really, but has an hourly base breakdown. So under the base, stop above it. It's not one of the 3 that I picked for tomorrow, but it's just a watch. Okay, so that is it. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you're able to capitalize on some of the opportunities that I'm sharing with you. I hope you're able to short Bitcoin last week. That would have been really, really nice. Or Tesla, that was nice also. And if you have any questions, reach out to us at info@t3live.com. info@t3live.com. Okay, as I said, I have a webinar tomorrow that you're welcome to attend. Link for that, if you want to register for it is in the description. But with that said, enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I will talk to you next week. Take care, everybody. Ciao.